We all love sugar and are evolutionarily wired to want to eat as much sweet food as possible.
Sugar, do 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 do. Honey, honey, do 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 do. You are my champion.
Sweet food in nature is never poisonous, and it also indicates high caloric content that ensures our survival. There is a perception that so-called natural sugar alternatives like honey are healthier than table sugar because they are less processed and considered more primeval. I myself thought for many years that honey is the magical super sweetener from nature, but is this actually true?
Let's talk about the whole spectrum of sweeteners. We know that processed sugar, that sucrose, is no good for humans. It causes major problems. But why would you use artificial sweeteners like stevia and Splenda when you can use something like honey or fruit to sweeten your meals?
Is this guy right? According to his thesis, it would be better, aka healthier, to use honey, maple syrup or other natural alternatives in your cooking and baking. Is this wishful thinking, or is there really something to this statement? Let's start with the assumption that table sugar is not natural. It's made from sugarcane, which is a plant. Once harvested, the sugarcane is crushed. The juice then is heated and filtered, then sent to a series of crystallization steps to create crystals of raw sugar, followed by centrifugation to remove any remaining juice or syrup. Essentially, it's from a natural plant, but lots of steps are needed to get to the crystallized end product. What exactly is table sugar? It's sucrose, a disaccharide, a sugar composed of 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of fructose. At the molecule level, there is no difference between table sugar and agave syrup or other types of sugar such as maple syrup, honey, coconut blossom sugar or any other variant. Any kind of sugar, regardless of color, taste and origin, consists of glucose and fructose, and it breaks down into exactly these molecules in our bodies. Dried fruits, for example, may seem healthy, but they are not. In their favor, they contain a small amount of fiber, which is healthy, but otherwise the molecules are hardly different from those of table sugar. There is no such thing as good or bad sugar. All sugars are the same, regardless of what plant they are made from. Our body always processes sugar in the same way, regardless of whether it comes from sugarcane, an agave or a mango. Sugar is sugar no matter what it is called. Sure, there are small differences. Honey contains antioxidants and fruit juice contains vitamins, but this does not outweigh the effects of large amounts of glucose and fructose present in both. The only real difference is the ratio of fructose to glucose in the different sugars. Let's take agave syrup as an example. Agave syrup consists of about 80% fructose, whereas table sugar consists of 50%, which means that the glucose spike, your blood sugar increase, is lower, but the fructose spike is all the more severe. Fructose is said to be healthier than glucose, but the exact opposite is the truth. It is in fact unhealthier. So table sugar is actually less bad than agave syrup as it contains less fructose. Again, for the record, both are bad, fructose and glucose, and you should avoid both if possible. Overall, however, fructose seems to be even more harmful. This is because glucose is needed in the whole body and serves as the primary energy provider. Unlike glucose, fructose cannot be directly used as an energy source by all cells of the human body. Fructose is metabolized in the liver, but excess consumption can cause fat build-up, leading to insulin resistance in the liver and non-alcoholic fatty liver another disease. Fat, which our body forms from fructose, accumulates in very unfavorable places such as in our liver and between our organs. In addition, the fat from the fructose enters our bloodstream and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. This is also referred to as LDL, low density lipoprotein, or bad cholesterol. Fructose also causes more inflammation in the body than glucose. Before we continue, let me ask for a quick favor. If you enjoy my content and learn new things, please make sure to subscribe to keep me motivated to make these very research-intense videos so that you don't have to do the hours or even days-long research yourself. Sugar in general and fructose in particular are not very healthy. We are splitting hairs if we go through all of these sugar sources, trying to find one better than the other. True, one might have a tiny more of this polyphenol, a tiny amount extra of this vitamin or a certain mineral, but at the end of the day they are very similar in terms of the sugar they contain, the glucose and fructose, and how our body metabolizes them. Most of the users consume too much sugar. Most of it is not added at the table or during cooking at home. Instead, it is hidden in our highly processed foods. This is something all of us should be worried about, far more whether when we use a teaspoon of sugar or a bit of honey in our tea. You might think that looking at the ingredient list would help, but manufacturers have become sophisticated in giving sugar as many names as possible so that it is more difficult for consumers to identify it among the ingredients. Here is a list of some of the synonyms. There must be more than 100 out there by now. Additional to sugar, you should also avoid everything with juice, nectar or syrup in it, and things ending on ose like dextrose, for example. Even with this mnemonic, you can still miss some sugar sources. By now, everyone has surely realized that sugar consumption should be minimized in order to live longer, prevent disease, and slow down the aging process. The good news is that we don't need sugar to survive. Our body does not need fructose, only glucose. And it can produce glucose itself if it is not supplied from outside. So we do not require it as an energy source. So we eat sugar only for pleasure, for enjoyment. So you are free to decide which form you like best and enjoy it in moderation. Because let's be honest, who can completely do without it? If you treat yourself with something sweet, then fresh fruit is best, because this is the form that nature has provided for the consumption of glucose and fructose. Small amounts, not too concentrated, and accompanied by fiber. Sugar that is packaged with the original food behaves differently. This is because it's packaged with a lot of fiber, which slows down the rate at which we absorb it, causing a smaller blood sugar spike, which is more healthy, as the bigger the spike, the more worrying it should be, as regular high blood sugar increases are related to many risk factors, including type 2 diabetes. Dips resulting from the spikes are also less extreme, meaning that you will not experience other after effects of high blood sugar spikes, such as food cravings or sudden bouts of drowsiness. So cut apple pieces into your porridge instead of adding sugar, and sweeten your yogurt with berries instead of honey. What is your relationship with sugar? Did I forget something important? Let me know in the comments. Don't overdo it with the sugar.
So you like donuts, eh? Well, have all the donuts in the world!
More.
I don't understand it. James Coco went mad in 15 minutes.
Until next time, bye.